On this week's episode of the Modern Dealer Podcast, I'm going to talk about vehicle purchase programs, online retailers, and what we can learn from them. Vroom, Carvana, CarMax, AutoNation, and Tesla. And we're going to look at a content strategy for Facebook ads. All that and more on this week's episode of the Modern Dealer Podcast. Welcome in to another episode of the Modern Dealer Podcast. My name is David Farmer with Entice, and today we have a lot of information to cover. I know it's been a couple weeks since we've had a Modern Dealer Podcast out in the world, so I appreciate you tuning in today. What I wanted to talk about today specifically is how you as a dealer can compete with companies like Carvana, CarMax, Vroom, in a vehicle purchase program. I've been working with a bunch of dealers recently, and one of the things that they've identified is that there has to be a way where they can purchase more vehicles from consumers directly. Now, this is an acquisition strategy that companies like Carvana are doing extremely well, and so well that I've recently sold my vehicle to Carvana as I was just going through this experience. So let me kind of set the stage on how this entire deal happened. So it was back in, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I did a video, and I'll link it up in the show notes below, but I was comparing Vroom, Carvana, CarMax, AutoNation on what they were putting on for a vehicle valuation looking to purchase vehicles. And what I found was absolutely incredible. The typical value for my vehicle, and I'll just be completely transparent because you'll be able to see this in the video if you watch it. It was a 2018 Audi A6. A little bit of a rare vehicle just because I don't drive all that much. It only had 9,700 miles on it. Still under factory warranty. It was only 2 years old, even though it was a 2018. I bought it a year late. But the value that was being put on the vehicle ranged from $24,000 at the low range all the way up to $29,718. Now, what's really interesting about that number is I did this same experiment a couple years ago, just a few months after purchasing the vehicle, and that used vehicle was worth more today than it was 2 years ago. So I'm going to link that up, a video also in the show notes here for the Modern Dealer Podcast. That was a podcast that we did, maybe it wasn't 2 years ago, maybe it was closer to a year and 3 or 4 months ago, but I took my car to CarMax to go through the experience of getting a value put on the vehicle. Now we can do all of this online, and that's exactly what I did in comparing my vehicle. So really, 24, I want to say it was the low end. It went up to 25, 26. Carvana came in at the high number, 29.7, and I think I had 28.8 from CarMax. So that was kind of the range for what they were willing to put on my vehicle for a purchase. Now, I really wasn't in the market for a vehicle, very happy with the vehicle I had, but just looking at that number, I said that why don't I sell the car to them? I'll end up buying something else, which we're going to talk about in a little bit as well from an online purchase process standpoint. But I was happy with the car, but getting that kind of value, really a retail value if you look at that car online right now. But that's what they're doing. So that's what you're competing with as a new vehicle dealership. That's what you're competing with for customers looking at selling their vehicle. So right now, the age of digital retailing, if that's what we want to call it, modern retailing experiences, is pushing customers online, not only for purchasing vehicles, but also selling vehicles. And actually, if I pop over here on another page here, I got some websites pulled up. And the first thing that we're going to see, here's the Carvana site, which I'm sure if you haven't gone to their site, I would highly recommend shopping their site. Take your vehicle, run it through their trade value process, and find out what they're willing to put on it. Heck, take 3 or 4 of the vehicles that your used vehicle manager just appraised recently, throw it up there, find out what they are willing to pay for the vehicle. Now, I can tell you my experience, which I'm going to put out a video just kind of covering that entire experience. I have some video that I captured during the process, some screen records. I'm going to kind of put that together in a full process. So look for that in the coming weeks. But I would recommend doing this yourself, taking some vehicles, throwing it up there, see what they're willing to pay. We know that they're paying the money right now. They know that they need to have inventory, and their source, over 50% of their vehicles are being purchased directly from consumers. And these are customers that are then maybe coming into your dealership and purchasing vehicles, but also if they're shopping the Carvana site and they're shopping your site, if you're not competitive, they may have the opportunity not only to buy that vehicle from that customer, but also to sell a vehicle to a customer. So keep that in mind. But again, what I really wanted to show you on these sites is how prevalent their sell versus trade process is on their website, and how they really communicate that. Now, so you can see right there that search cars is the very first menu item. The second menu item is sell or trade. Very simple process. There's my offer right there. Now, they picked up the car day before yesterday, so it was a done deal. Very easy process, something that you'll be able to learn from a dealer standpoint of how you might want to create your vehicle purchase program, and we can help with that. I'll share with you some ideas on how you might be able to implement that if you don't already have one for your dealership. But really just putting your plate or VIN number in, being able to move right into that process. Same exact thing that you're going to find out if you were to visit Vroom. Right there, buy a vehicle, so you can search a vehicle or you can sell it right there. So they're prominently presenting this. You know as well as I do that vehicle acquisition is I don't know if it's ever been more challenging than it is right now. Vehicles are going for really an all-time high compared to book values, average MMR. Some of the numbers that I've seen out there right now, pretty crazy for vehicle acquisition, but it's extremely important. We know that today, I think it was just yesterday morning that I saw a notification that came out from Automotive News that Honda was further downgrading their production because of these computer chips that are in high demand right now and low supply. So this is something that is going to be very topical for you to make sure that you have inventory in stock to sell customers. Now, what's really interesting about this too is that it just happens to be at the exact same time where the stimulus checks are coming out. Taxes are now, tax returns are now hitting customers' direct deposits. So we have this huge demand for new vehicles, for used vehicles, and a very low supply. So those prices on used vehicles are going to be driven up. So now is the time to be paying attention to how you can acquire more vehicles and how aggressive you really need to be competitive. One last note I'll say on the value of that Audi. I actually shopped a local Audi dealership in this market. I shared with them the value, and they weren't even willing to consider the value that I was getting from their competitor Carvana. Now, if you think about that, is if you have an antiquated approach from a used vehicle evaluation standpoint that's not in tune with what today's market is, that's not only going to hurt you from the ability to acquire vehicles from customers, but as those customers are coming into your dealership, they're going through an appraisal process. If you're not uber competitive, you're going to be losing deals, and I know that you know that already. But I just wanted to share that with you based on the value I got from Carvana. They didn't even want to make an offer on my vehicle or even consider that from a purchase standpoint. And based on the inventory that they had on the ground, I think it was a big mistake. So another thing, we could go over to AutoNation, sell my car. We can go to CarMax. We're going to see the same thing, shop, sell. So what I would recommend is looking at, go through the process yourself on Carvana, Vroom, AutoNation, CarMax. So you get an idea of what your customer's going through, find out what the value these vehicles are bringing right now, and then look at your dealership website and see how you compare. Put yourself in put yourself in the shoes of a customer. They're coming to your dealership website. How are you putting that cash offer in front of customers? How are you calculating that value? How do you know that you're being competitive? Are you using a service that's putting an evaluation or a purchase figure to your customers, and how competitive is that number? When I did my shopping, I also shopped some of those automated processes that are available from some of the big vendors in the space, and the numbers that they were putting on for an expedited purchase number was the very lowest out of all of the car shopping sites that I searched. So you might want to also shop not only your online competitors, shop yourself and see how you stack up from an experience standpoint, and then also from the standpoint of what is that evaluation and how easy are they making it to actually sell a vehicle to them. And another thing, what I did as well is I did some YouTube searches. That's one thing I really like to do, is use YouTube. I'm a very visual person, to learn things. So I wanted to go through and find out, well, what are customers doing if they go to Carvana or CarMax or AutoNation, and what are some of those customers' experiences selling their vehicle to those big names or purchasing vehicles from those big names. What do they like about it? What don't they like about it? And then I think that's a great place to start on how you can compare that to your online purchase experience and your online selling experience, whether you have a customer selling a vehicle to you or you selling a vehicle to a customer. So again, some good information there. Let me pop back up over here. So that's a lot of information about ways you want to look at your ability to purchase vehicles from customers, what other competitors are doing in the space, and some thought starters on how you might be able to experience that process and do some comparison. Now, what I also want to share with you today is, now, us as a technology provider in this space, we have a solution for dealers that really taps into a process that really kind of guarantees yourself to be super competitive in the marketplace. So now I know that this process, you may already have a process in place. You might already be in a contract with a technology that you have on your dealership website, and maybe you're super happy with the technology that's on your dealership's website. You could look at making a switching over to a software solution from my company, or you can take these ideas and implement them on your own. You don't always have to have a technology in place to be able to execute on some best practices, but sometimes it makes it a lot easier. So what I'm going to share with you today is what we call our Express Cash offer through our Trade Value Express technology. So what we do is we present the opportunity for a customer to get an instant book value and then request an express cash offer. So what I'm going to do now, also let me pop back over to this screen right here. You can see here, this is an example of a landing page that we have created for our Trade Value Express with Express Cash Offer. Our goal is to really clearly communicate to the customer the whole will buy your car process, whether you buy a vehicle from us or not. So putting you, the dealer, in the with the ability to directly compete with companies that I've mentioned a few times today. So Trade Value Express with Express Cash Offer. Say hello to Trade Value Express with Express Cash Offer. You can trade in your old car for a new one or sell it to us. Either way, we'll buy it from you, even if you don't buy from us. And then we give the customer the ability to jump into the process. So again, you can use our technology or you can use another piece of technology. It's the process that I want you to be familiar with and see how this could actually work. We also love using video to engage with consumers, to educate them. We have, our explainer videos are generally less than a minute long. Here's an example of one of them. I'm going to play it for a little bit right now.
Getting your trade-in value should be fast and easy. Say hello to Trade Value Express.
While I get a drink
over 90 years, Kelley Blue Book has been the trusted
here.
resource for used car values, helping car owners understand what their used car is worth. KBB values are the results of massive amounts of data, including actual sales transactions and auction prices. To get your Kelley Blue Book trade-in value, just tell us about your car, confirm the condition, and in seconds, Trade Value Express will provide your Kelley Blue Book trade-in value. Plus, we'll send a comprehensive trade value certificate right to your email. Optionally, you can request an express cash offer by simply uploading some interior and exterior photos of your vehicle. Our professional used vehicle appraisers will review the information and provide you with an express cash offer in just minutes.
I know this is kind of a commercial for us, and I usually don't try to do commercials inside of the Modern Dealer podcast. But again, this is something that you can do with or without our technology. The idea of an express cash offer is simple. Get your used vehicle managers involved with putting a value on every car that is coming through your dealership website for a purchase process. You may already be doing it with an automated process, but look at those values and get an idea of how competitive the marketplace is right now. Now, our technology for a customer, we're going to kind of continue down this page. So this is a landing page that we've created to educate the customer. So you think about how a customer is going to interact with your dealership website and how you're going to be able to communicate your story to a customer. Maybe they saw an email, maybe they saw a display ad where you're telling customers that you'll buy their car. They click that, they end up going to your dealership website. What is the story that you're telling the customer? Where are you placing that customer when they hit your dealership website? Is that landing page clearly communicating the value proposition that you have to buy their vehicle? I can guarantee you that Vroom, Carvana, CarMax, AutoNation, all of these companies have highly optimized landing pages to communicate why a customer should consider selling a vehicle to or selling their vehicle to that company. That's what this landing page is designed to do. So Trade Value Express, again, nice video, very polished, instant trade value. We tell the same story that's in the video on this landing page. We're building up value in the fact that the customer can get a trade value instantly right through the technology. And then at any point, as the customer is going down this funnel, they can jump in and jump right into that technology to move the customer in that lead conversion process and start the process to be able to get an express cash offer. Now, same thing, trade your old one in for a new one. You can see this is themed up for a This one is themed up for a Toyota dealership, but we can also have this set up for a Honda dealership or Ford dealership or any OEM. We can tailor this, and we can do this for independent used vehicle dealerships as well. Express cash offer. Here's how it works. Just upload some interior and exterior photos of your vehicle along with the photo of your VIN and your odometer, and then our professional used vehicle appraisers will review the information and provide you with an express cash offer in minutes. And again, they can just jump right into that process, whether it's there, whether it's down here, just jump right into that solution right on the page, not taking the customer away from this page to another URL or anything. It's just all right there. And again, talking about the on-site inspection and the express cash offer will even pay off your loan if you have one. And then moving into the certificate that they would get if a customer did request that express cash offer. So really building value into this entire process on how a customer has the ability to get a express cash offer on your dealership's website. Now, as I would go through here, for example, I can go ahead and do this right now. Let's say I have a 20, I'll just do the Audi. Okay, so 2018. Now we're going to move the customer in converting. And again, this might be different based on the technology that you're using. You can use other technology. You don't have to use ours. Ours just happens to be really, really good, but they're getting the value. And then we get to this point right here. So the way that we differentiate a express cash offer versus other solutions in the marketplace right now, or just a customer that's getting a trade value, is the ability to upload images right in the system. So I can go, I can click to upload. I have some photos that are already set up. Got some cool animated ones or illustrated ones. I'll go ahead and use those as an example. Front and rear, odometer, all the information that your used vehicle manager needs to put a number on a vehicle. Now, I was a used car manager for a very long time. I mean, I kind of consider myself a used car guy just based on my experience. I had a used vehicle dealership, independent used vehicle dealership for 5 years. I was a used vehicle manager in a dealership that was selling, 150 to 250 used cars per month. That's really most of my time in automotive retail is in around used cars. So I've built this process in a way where it's going to make it very easy for customers to be able to request, and then very easy for a used vehicle manager to be able to complete the process and be super competitive. Of course, the customer has the ability to schedule an appointment for the inspection. And we're going to complete the process right now. So once we complete the process, they get this express cash offer requested certificate, and then the used vehicle manager is going to get an email, which I'm actually going to show you what this process looks like. So once a customer does this online, immediately the customer is going to get, or the used vehicle manager is going to get an email like this. It's going to include all of the images that a customer uploaded into the system. Now, any used car manager, if they were to have this information, they would be able to put a value on a car. They know it's an online customer that they know that they're competing with. This customer probably is going to be shopping other purchase programs, whether it's Vroom or Carvana or CarMax or AutoNation. But this is going to provide your dealership a way to provide an experience that is going to be able to compete with those those types of online experiences that they've created. And then right from here, right from this email, I can hit make express cash offer. It's going to log me right into the back end of the system, which I would be able to do. Let me log in here. Right here, I can put a number on the car. Let's say it's 29718. I think it's a great way to go. I'm going to use my username and password. I finish the process. I say, yep, approve that offer. Now, now the cool thing is the customer, just like if it's one of these big retailers, they're going to get an express cash offer certificate that is going to be very polished, that's going to be very professional. I'll even share with you what that looks like. Just going to pull up my email real quick here. All right, so this is what an email would look like. Express cash offer, $29,718. Includes all of the images that's been uploaded into the system with a full disclosure. The customer has the ability to print off this express cash offer certificate right there. So this is a way that you can compete with Vroom, Carvana, CarMax, AutoNation, and other online retailers. So in the era, the post-COVID era of digital retailing, how can you create some separation between you and your competitors in your marketplace? And how can you make a compelling differentiation between yourself and large national brands like Carvana? That's the way that you can do it. So just thinking, back about how this process could work, and these are kind of what I would recommend. And actually, let's make these our Bert's 3 tips, even though Bert's not with me today. What first thing I would do is I would shop your vehicle across all of these online retailers and see where their values are coming in. The second thing I would do is I would shop your dealership website and look at it, and is it easy for a customer to know that you buy cars? And then number 3 is make sure that you have a technology or a solution in place that automates the process and really allows your best assets, which is your people, get involved with the process. It doesn't always have to be a fully automated machine learning algorithm bullshit type of thing. The car business is about people. The car business is about processes. Be very efficient, get involved. It reminds me back in the 90s, early 2000s, when we would get these internet leads coming into the dealership, and nobody wanted to take these internet leads or internet shoppers serious, like they were serious car buyers. It's like, we'll just, screw them. If they come in, they come in. But now we know 20 years later that almost everybody is shopping online. Almost everybody is visiting your dealership website. Almost everybody is submitting leads. You're getting thousands of leads per month into your CRM. These are real shoppers. How can you create some separation between you and your competition and other online retailers? Invest in some sort of process where you can get your people involved. So Bert's 3 tips. Now, another thing that we wanted to cover in this episode of the Modern Dealer Podcast is a content strategy for Facebook. And this is going to tie right back into the express cash offer process. And I have some examples pulled up here that I want to share with you. It might take me a minute just to get them pulled up, so bear with me. So I think it's very important to look at what ad types are available inside of Facebook and how best you can leverage those ad types with a way that a dealership can advertise online. So one easy way to look at one of the most popular ad types in Facebook is an image ad, specifically an image ad with a carousel, where you can take individual images, you can load them into a carousel, giving the customer the ability to thumb through ads as those ads are coming in a news feed. Now, these are not just organic posts that you boost. These are actual ads that are created in the Facebook marketing platform. The type is going to be an image ad with a carousel, which is multiple images. So this is a way that you can use really one of the most popular Facebook ad types, and that is by using your lease specials from your manufacturer. Now, I get this a lot where a dealership will say, but we have a very low lease penetration. We don't lease cars. It doesn't matter. There's a reason that manufacturers and OEMs use a lease payment as a way to advertise vehicles, whether from an OEM standpoint, there's a high penetration of leases or not. The reason it works so well is because a consumer is going to look at a vehicle and they're going to see that it's $229 a month, or it's $199 a month, or it's $399 a month, or whatever that value is. And the value is going to be associated with what my monthly payment is versus what the cost of owning that vehicle is. And if it's appealing, whether it's a lease or not, the assumption is they must be having a good sale on right now. Because that lease payment is so low, I'm sure I'd be able to get a good deal on a vehicle if I just purchased it. And some customers are going to come into the dealership and they're going to say, I don't want to lease a vehicle. All I want to do is buy a vehicle. But until they're actually presented with a purchase payment and a lease payment, they might not even consider one. Or they might consider one, but they're telling you something different. That's actually one reason that when I created the ePencil product, that I used the 9 payment grid for purchase payments alongside of lease payments, even though a customer might said, I don't want to lease. I don't want to look at lease payments, that we're still going to show them because we can use them as selection alternatives on how to show the customer how we can make a new vehicle very inexpensive for them to drive. That's going to build value. If they say no to a lease, that means they're going to be saying yes to a purchase. All right, so without going too far away from our main topic, which is going to be a content strategy, let's just go ahead and look at what an ad, a carousel ad type could look like in a newsfeed. So this is just a sample inside of Facebook for a carousel ad type, and you can see as I would roll up into this sample, you can see I have this fit here from $189 a month. I got the HRV from $229 a month. I got a Pilot for $329 a month, a Ridgeline $329 a month, a set as. All of these ads are coming right in there from inside this image style carousel. You can see here we're also utilizing the year, make, model, and trim, the lease payment itself. You can see that we have it listed right there. And then the landing page, of course, is going to be appropriate to the vehicle that the customer clicks on, and you can include a UTM code, so you'll be able to see that a customer is coming from Facebook and what page that's landing on and what ad they clicked on, which will provide you some more information on how you can utilize Facebook data to drive decision making for your dealership's advertising by adding in those UTM codes. We've covered UTM codes in the past. If you go to my YouTube channel, which is Entice CEO, or the digital retailer YouTube page, you'll find that I have a couple videos detailing exactly how you can build out UTM codes and use that data to drive decision making at your dealership. So that's one way, one content strategy you can use, an image ad, carousel ad using lease specials, and why you might want to do that, even though you don't have a high lease penetration. Another type of ad that I'm going to share with you today is specifically around the express cash offer. So again, a customer rolls up on your feed. This is not an organic post that's boosted. This is an ad. And then we're going to tell a story with the customer. So maybe instead of using monthly ad specials, we're using the image carousel to tell a story. Selling your car should be easy. Get an express cash offer. Trade in your old car or sell it to us. We'll buy your car even if you don't buy from us. Get an express cash offer that's good for 7 days. Upload photos of your vehicle, get an express cash offer, and after a quick on-site inspection, you'll get an express cash offer. And then also we have that same video right here inside of Facebook. And then what you do is you take this ad and then you land them on a dedicated landing page like I shared with you a little bit earlier, like this. So again, you think about how a customer is going to see an ad like I just shared with you, which I could just show you right up here, right? So a customer sees this ad in Facebook. What are they going to do? If they're interested, they're going to click through. Once they click through, get them to land on a page like this that picks up on that story, that includes video content to communicate the value proposition and build value. And then at every point, as you're building value in this value ladder or this sales funnel, give them a point, give them the opportunity to engage and convert as they're going through it, and then have a conversion tool. Again, whether it's our tool or somebody else's, that doesn't matter. It's the process that matters and the people that you have. So that's another way that you can use image carousel ads in Facebook for creating experiences. And then again, now you can differentiate your dealership from an advertising standpoint on Facebook with companies like AutoNation, Carvana, CarMax. You could be right there with them from an experience standpoint, and you have built-in credibility. You're a Honda dealership, you're a Toyota dealership, you're a Kia dealership, you're a Chevy, Ford, whatever. You have credibility as a local dealer. I mean, we see, car dealers, in my opinion, are some of the best entrepreneurs in the country, that you are building value in your marketplace, in the community. You have community leaders that are dealers. You have the credibility to compete with these companies, even though they might be spending millions of dollars trying to take your customers. So get back in the game by doing things like this. All right, so I'm not even sure how long this episode has been going so far. 37 minutes, kind of a long episode as of recent days. But just a couple other thought starters for a content strategy on Facebook. So other ways that you can utilize Facebook for an advertising standpoint is utilizing video. I am going to share with you another example like I always do. Let me come back over here. Let me get one pulled up. And what I want to show you specifically in the type of ad is to be able to share with you. Here's the example right here. So I'm going to roll up on it in just a second, and let me go ahead and make sure that I'm sharing it. So you got a customer that is, there it is. You get a customer that's flipping through their feed. They're going to roll up on one of your ads in the news feed. If you're, hold on, hold on. Okay. Little snafu there. So you have a customer that's rolling up on an ad on Facebook. You have the ability to take your TV spots and run them as Facebook video ads. One challenge with that is most of them are 16:9 ad size. They're very skinny. They're not going to take up the full display area on a phone, which is where most of the traffic is coming from Facebook as customers are flipping through their feed. What you need to be able to do is augment that video, make it bigger, make it more impactful. So we recommend taking that video that you have that's running on TV right now and add to it. Make it a 4:5 aspect ratio or a 1:1 aspect ratio. And then when a customer rolls up on that ad, you're going to see not only this much right here, but you got to have some additional animation. Make that audio go away. A little bit of animation in this bottom a half of the video. So now when a customer rolls up on this, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm seeing a lot of great information. And then most importantly, the type of ad we're making this video ad is a collections ad. Customer rolls up on, opens that up again, got that full 1:1 or 4:4 video, and then it goes into a collection. That collection is your inventory catalog inside the Facebook marketing platform that can then be added into a collections ad where all of the vehicles in here, in this case, it's an Accord video spot with all of the Accords. And the way that we have this set up, you can actually see here, if you look, is we actually have the payment for each individual vehicle that's coming in here. We do both price and payment. This payment is driven by our Shopper Express digital retailing technology, which then a customer would have the ability to click into, go to the dealership's website, and then from this website be able to engage with some of our digital retailing technologies, such as configure payment or bill deal, which again then we're funneling those customers down in this value ladder type of scenario, right in a deal configurator where a customer can engage, convert into leads, all right within that Facebook ad experience. So a lot of stuff going on in that type of ad. I'm gonna keep the other ads, ad content type for other episodes of the Modern Dealer Podcast, where we're going to talk about automotive inventory ads, the couple different types that are available to get your inventory in front of customers, different landing pages you can use. We're going to talk about other video ads that you can use for on Facebook, and then message ads. So if you're running any Facebook events right now, you're probably familiar with the message ads where you can have customers engage right with Facebook Messenger right from an ad. We have some tips and tricks that you can use to use message ads to engage and convert customers and use them for events that are going on all the time, 24/7, 365. So I tell you what, this has been a great episode. Got a lot of information that has been shared. As just a quick recap, we were talking about vehicle purchase program for your dealership website, how you can use technology and people and process in your dealership to outshine the big national retailers. And then we covered some tips on how you can go out and shop your competition, shop your own dealership website. And then we covered some Facebook ad content. I want to thank you for staying tuned to the Modern Dealer Podcast. I appreciate your time checking out our podcast. Until next time, we're out.